Welcome into the Michigan Football Report, folks. It is your host, James Yoder, here on a Tuesday, bringing the latest around this Michigan football Big Ten championship program. So, coming up on today's show, we're going to talk about a major update in the recruitment of five-star 2023 quarterback Dante Moore out of the city of Detroit. So that's coming up a little bit later in the show. Right now, to start the show, though, we're going to talk about J.J. McCarthy, right? Didn't participate in spring practice. You saw him get injured there at the end of the season. It's kind of messed up his shoulder, but is he back to 100%? Seems like it. We're going to tell you what he did this Sunday. And then later on in the show, stick around. If you are part of the squad that watched our video from, I believe it was Friday of a week and a half ago, I told everybody who watched to the end of the video, I would give you a shout out if you type squad, that you were the end of the video squad. You were the real ones. You are the true Michigan Football Report fans who watched the entire video. So thanks to all you guys. Got 45 or so of you to shout out coming up later on in the show. But I want to start off today's episode with this. As you may or may not know, Chat Sports, we've got about 30 different YouTube channels, and some of the guys had some fun this weekend, through the weekend into this week, with a video. One commenter on another channel commented 53 times on one video. So a couple of our guys were like, look, our guys can do better than that. I think we've beaten 53 how many times, how many channels? Several channels, Bears and our Raiders channel, and a few others have gotten a one commenter to comment 53 times or more on a single video. So here's what I'm asking you guys. I can't walk into our production meeting on Thursday without hopefully setting the record or at least getting close. So if you can, one of you, all I need is one of you guys. I need a Michigan fan to set the record when we pull these numbers here coming up in about a day. So go type 53 comments or more for me. You can just type Go Blue, copy and paste it, enter. Give me one person to give me 53 or more comments in this video so I can represent you as the best fan base in all of YouTube. All right, so that is my little ask to start the show. But how about J.J. McCarthy? This is pretty interesting. It's pretty cool. I like what I'm seeing out of McCarthy from a leadership perspective and from an entrepreneurial perspective in a lot of ways. So J.J. McCarthy hosted a youth football camp on Sunday. 600 football players from around the Midwest, mostly from Chicago area, joined, paid to be there. 20 Michigan players served as camp counselors. Charles Woodson was also there. He wasn't really necessarily a camp counselor, but he gave a little speech to all the campers, had a little observation, showed some people what they needed to do. And then what J.J. McCarthy did, which I find most interesting, is I wasn't able to track down fast enough. If I figure it out, I'll let you know in a video later this week. I don't know how much each camper paid, but let's just say each camper paid, let's just say $50, right? What's my quick math in my head? That'd be 30 grand, right? It was $50. That's over $1,000. That's $1,500 per 20 players if that's all proceeds. I'm guessing they had a little bit of operational cost for equipment and renting out the venue. But McCarthy didn't have to bring Michigan football players with him to Chicago. He is basically saying, look, I'm the quarterback. I'm the five-star. I'll likely be starting quarterback this year or next year. He's going to be the one to get the $500,000 deals, maybe not just one deal, but a number of deals. And he also knows that might, what I've said probably for a year, a lot of people said, that might have jealousy happen in the locker room where he's rolling around in a Mercedes. He's got all kinds of money, but his offensive lineman or his receiver, they're not getting that type of cash. So as he can host a camp, get 30,000, 50,000, maybe more. Maybe they got sponsorships. That'd be an easy thing to happen as well. And then each of his guys who comes out, maybe they carpool, drive out together, cost them $50 in gas. Then they get $1,000, $1,500, $2,000 to go back. I'm hearing McCarthy is planning on doing this multiple times this summer. And if he does, there could be 20, 30, 40 Michigan football players that get paid because of J.J. McCarthy. So pretty interesting to see. But what comes out of this, and the photo that you see there on screen as we transition out of it, McCarthy advising some future Michigan Wolverines prospects, some recruits in the class of 2031. I'm guessing those kids are 2029 maybe. Who knows? But that he is showing up as a leader, that he is spreading the wealth a little bit, but more importantly, that he's not injured anymore, right? Seems to be back to 100%. We'll show you what he said about that coming up here in a second. Throwing back near 100%, and I like to see it. Now, what I mentioned a little bit before is this a move to maybe win over some of his teammates? Wet in the beak, if you're not familiar with the term, it's like a duck. They wet their beak. They want to get some food. They're going to put the beak in the water to get food. They'll wet the beak with the pocket, right? And I'm sure, all things being equal, the guy helping you wet the beak. Maybe you support him more, go out there for some passing drills in the summer. I don't know. If JJ is winning the locker room over, if this is what he has to do to get an edge on Cade McNamara, if everything is even, I'm for it, right? We saw some of it last year with him and Donovan Edwards and Andrew Anthony showing up at Schembechler Hall at 4 and 5 in the morning the day after a road game a couple times. Jim Harbaugh is really excited about that. If McCarthy is going to beat out a Big Ten championship winning quarterback, these are the type of things that I think he needs to do, because there are a lot of Cade McNamara supporters in the fan base, in the coaching staff, and certainly around that program as players. So if McCarthy ends up winning the job, he's going to need all the support that he can get. And with him being healthy, and Michigan not kicking off for a little over about 3.5 months from now, I think this is a battle unlike we've seen in, probably going back 2 decades or so, maybe Drew Henson and Tom Brady in the 1999 season. All right, so we were told by the big wigs here at Chat Sports that we had 20,000 subscribers by May 20th, 20K by 20th. It sounded good. We didn't do it. All right, hand up, my fault, right? I just didn't provide enough good content, didn't get enough subscribers. But they said, okay, James, well, maybe that was just a little bit too much to bite off at once. So we kept the channel public, right? So you haven't subscribed, you can still watch it. But here's about the deal I make to you guys. We've only been doing about 1 video a week or so this offseason, really since March 1st. So I want to get back in the swing of things, but it's a give and take relationship we have. It's my time, it's your time, it's our mutual admiration and love of the Michigan football program. So let's get to 20,000. Need less than 200 to get there, new subscribers on the channel here on YouTube. Once we do, I'll be back to doing 4 videos a week the rest of the summer, leading up to that first game, the first Saturday of September in Ann Arbor. I mentioned J.J. McCarthy brought a few Michigan players, upwards of 20 Michigan football players, to work the camp. Most notable guys. You see a little bit of the offensive flair. Donovan Edwards, who's been really tied to McCarthy at the hip since they were juniors in high school as the leaders of that 2021 recruiting class. A.J. Henning, his friend, also from Chicago. Junior Colson, rising sophomore starter, superstar this year. Zach Sintner and Trevor Keegan, 2 of his offensive linemen. McCarthy did a little bit of media talk. He talked to some of the recruiting blog boys. The most notable quote he had was this one that we'll toss up on screen. "I'm doing great. The arm's progressing in a positive direction, so that is all I can ask for." If he's fully healthy, he's back on field, he's pulling these camps, I think he's going to have 90 days or so, about 60, 70 days until camp starts, and then he'll have all that time to practice and play with his guys, get all the 7-on-7 drills in that he needs. Camp starts, August 2nd, August 3rd. He will then have 30 days to beat out Cade McNamara as the starting quarterback of the defending Big Ten champs. McNamara, though, let's not ignore him, right? I still think he will start the opening game, and then I think it's anybody's battle after that. McCarthy will get his opportunity if McNamara doesn't put a little more through the air. Here's his stats last year. As much as McCarthy is a name, and a lot of people are calling him, hey, a dark horse Heisman candidate or a breakout player in college football, he's still the backup quarterback. He's still only thrown for 5 touchdowns in his career and has yet to even throw 60 college passes. So I do want to pump the brakes a little bit. We got into a little trouble as a program 2 years ago. Everybody harping up Joe Milton. The next Cam Newton, scam web said. The next this guy, the next that guy. Well, he turned out to be the next third-string quarterback for the Tennessee Volunteers. So let's hold the horses. If J.J. McCarthy can make it happen in a game, he can throw for 350 yards and 4 touchdowns, in a game this year. Then we can start making the comparisons to Trevor Lawrence or somebody crazy like that. But that is my my takeaway on McCarthy. We got one more story to get to. Before we do, though, I want to ask you guys this question: which of these quarterbacks, Michigan's 2-headed quarterback battle, will have more passing yards in 2022? Go down in the comment, type CM for Cade McNamara, or go type JJ for JJ McCarthy. Let me know down in the comments. And by the way, you can do it 53 times. So if you want to really emphasize Cade, JJ, CM, JJ, go down in the comments, type it 54 times so we can set the record here on the Michigan Football Report. All right, now it is turning our attention to Dante Moore. If you're not familiar with Dante Moore, you've been sleeping under a rock, but I get it. We don't cover a ton of recruiting on this show. It's not my thing anymore. I like to focus on the team. 5-star quarterback, top 10 player overall in this upcoming senior class. Michigan offered him a scholarship as a 7th grader. Jim Harbaugh did back in the day. Before we get into Dante Moore, I promised you these squad shout-outs at the beginning of the show. So I'm going to go over a handful of people that gave love, watched the entire video last week, and type squad. So going through these, stick with me. If you hear your name, make sure you comment 54 times as well. All right, we got Bayrola, typing squad. Alex Beek, Kevin Kester, Rick Moeller. Shout out to you, Rick. We got I said that was Michelangelo, type squad son. Troy Barr. We got Iceman Comp 25. Scott Harris, part of the squad. Glenn Bloodshaw Jr., Michael Rand, subscriber, thank you so much. Courtney Harper, a.k.a. Come On Son Harper, and old school in the show. The Manalist said squad, bro. He typed squad kind of weird with a K, but hey, I get it. I saw it. Squad for sure from Doug Fresh. Travoris Beckley is a member of the squad. Paul Lassala, Night Gray, Mike Brock, Jack Posthumous, Steve Reichard, Sean Collins, Matt LaPointe. How about this, Brad? I'll read 2 or 3 more. We'll come back to the squad here in a moment because I don't want to bore everybody with my squads. But I tend to give shout-outs, so I'm going to give shout-outs. Dante Ellison, Matt Goyner, and then Dominique Johnson. I got about 15 more members of the squad. I'm going to shout out here in just a moment. But let's talk about Dante Moore. Visited over the weekend as an unofficial visit. Came in, and from what I can understand from what was going on here, this is an opportunity for him to kind of get the Michigan football team and students, schools over now. Can he spend some quality time with the players that are on campus, with some of the coaching staff, most notably Michigan's 2 new offensive coordinators? Sherman Moore was, offensive coordinator, co-OC in title, but not really in practice in 2021. And now Matt Weiss, the quarterback coach, both have been elevated to co-OCs and really will split the play calling duty. So this number 8 overall player in the 24/7 sports ranking out of the city of Detroit, is he going to come to Michigan or what? This feels a lot like Diamond Edwards. It feels like Will Johnson. Like they're going to string Michigan along for a while, then be the big-time commitment later on this fall, and round out a Michigan football recruiting class that honestly is struggling right now. But the biggest takeaways, I haven't done any insight into this. I haven't really reached out to the sources. I read a few articles. Want to make sure you guys know the information out there from other sources. So this isn't verified by my sources yet, but I will dive into Dante Moore as get some time here in the next few days. Jim Harbaugh, though, was not in attendance, was apparently at some sort of charity function this weekend, couldn't be in attendance. So he spent a ton of time with Matt Weiss, Sherrod Moore. They made the pitch on the offensive philosophy they're going to have as Michigan's co-OCs. Now, the big sticking point, it seems to be with Moore, is will Michigan be able to help him get name, image, and likeness deals? And not in the thousands of dollars, in the hundreds of thousands of dollars. That is the going rate for a 5-star quarterback in the 2022, 2023 class and beyond. He was hosted by Diamond Edwards, right? Spent some time with him. Will Johnson apparently as well. Kids that are same area, have known each other for a number of years, and they have the potential to be in the same backfield, although Edwards will be a junior when Moore is a freshman. So it matters, though. They come kind of run in the same circles. But the rumors are still out there that Notre Dame is leading. I can't imagine he has that great a relationship with the Notre Dame staff because their head coach left to LSU. But unfortunately, the way the tea leaves are out there, Notre Dame is still leading for him. So we'll see what comes out of this. He is set to make an official visit this fall, but if we get him on campus 1 or 2 more times over the summer, especially some of those big recruiting weekends, the barbecue at the big house, etc., I think things could maybe trend a little bit more in that direction. As of right now, though, Notre Dame seems to be leading for Dante Moore. So here's the question I have for you guys. Which would you rather have? Would you rather this fall, right? This is just for this one snapshot, the next 6 months or so. Would you rather get Dante Moore? Go ahead and like the video if you'd rather get Dante Moore than beat Michigan State this season, right? Which would be the 3rd straight loss for Jim Harbaugh to Mel Tucker. So if you want to beat Michigan State more than any recruit, go ahead and type MSU in the comments. If you say, hey, we lost him last year, still in the Big Ten, but have Dante Moore, hit that like button. I'll calculate him. We'll talk about it here coming up later in the week on our next show. Like the video for more, or type in MSU. All right, want to give a few more shout outs to the squad. I might have said Dominique Johnson. That's why I let off. We got Sergio Aguirre, okay, cool name. James Baker is part of the squad. Declan Hessler. So the squad is sticking with me to the end of the video. You're also getting your shout-outs here at the end of the video as well. J-Ride76, Henry Otto, Rock City is part of the squad. Craig Van Eck, Baylor Wiggins, my guy. Thanks so much for watching all the time, Baylor. Cody Fraser, Gary Lockery, Dan McClenathan, okay. Al Sutton, Keith Watson. We got Holy Messages from Heaven. That's a nice name. All right. Holy Messages from Heaven. Dwayne Smith, James Kuratz, Timothy Zenny. Some tough names here, honestly. Daniel Postiff, Benjamin Wheeler, Fees Fu, Jared Jones, Will Markham, Ken Gray. I got about 6 or 7 more in this one. Mark Westcott, Chad P, Marlon Betts, JB, Eugene Butts. That's a pretty funny name. No, that's your real name, Eugene, you know? You deal with it. I'm sure you've gotten people making the Butts jokes in the past. I'm not the first one. Bobby Gabrault, Chris Carroll, Rick Moeller, Mitch Capus, and Edwin Fabre. That is the squad. I think it was about 50 or so people. Really appreciate you guys. Thanks so much for watching the squad. If you're a member of the squad, let's go one extra level. Send the video to a friend. It's youtube.com/Michigan TV and say, yo, subscribe to Yoder. Let's help get us to 20,000 subscribers here on the Michigan Football Report.